gentlemen, and very good evening to the judges, fellow educators. So, throughout this debate, what have we looked in this debate, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, the site closing government will provide you two classes that debated by the opening and also the closing of, and also the judgment in this debate whether which proposal is providing you the legitimate substantive to deal with the problem that's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Because at the very first beginning, we already tell you the problem right now is the high suicide rate and also the shortage of the problem of the organ, ladies and gentlemen. And now, government is providing you a proposal which is dealing with the problem of the shortage of the suicide rate, that we can get the supply of organ from the people who are trying to commit suicide, ladies and gentlemen. So, before I go to the clashes, let's look what closing opposition has to, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they didn't really engage with Debra, which is Debra providing the extension is the balance of the social contract, and also the government is over-oppress the people in society, ladies and gentlemen. They come up with the ridiculous substantive, which is doctor is bind to the Hippocratic oath, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, okay, this issue is not about when we have granted the right to the people who commit suicide. At the end of the day, it's not going to demotivate all the doctors who are doing their job, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, why the doctor bind to the Hippocratic oath is because of the trust between doctor and also the patient. That the doctor needs to have the responsibility to rescue the patient at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And the proposal provided by the government is not an initiative of suicide, ladies and gentlemen. No. Okay, moving on to the first clashes, which is the choice of individual versus the sanctity of life, ladies and gentlemen. Since government have already tell you what is the dire need, which is the problem, the severe problem right now, which is the high suicide rate, ladies and gentlemen, and the shortage of the organ that we needed in society to cure the patient, the people of our country, ladies and gentlemen. That is why Debra had already tell you why the sanctity of life doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. Closing gap provided you the balance of social contract, which is at the end of the day, by implementing this motion, government can get at least a contribution from the suicide committer, ladies and gentlemen, which is, we are talking about the investment that the healthcare and also the education that government have put on this and on all the citizens in this country, ladies and gentlemen. That is why at the end of the day, if you commit suicide without any if you just commit suicide and we get nothing from you, ladies and gentlemen, you didn't contribute to the country at all, ladies and gentlemen. And by implementing this to solve the problem, at least you can contribute back by donating your organ to the society, ladies and gentlemen. This is how government really wants to contribute. Before I continue to second classes, yes.
Are you objectifying human life and adding a dollar number to human life, ladies and gentlemen?
Talking about human life, ladies and gentlemen, again, see, both sides have already considered that the problem is the high suicide rate in United States and also the shortage of organs, ladies and gentlemen. But we don't hear anything from them which can really deal with the problem, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't really come up with the counter mechanism to solve the problem right now, ladies and gentlemen. The shortage of the organ that they talk about, second alternative, ladies and gentlemen, which is the artificial organ. Why? If the artificial organ really works really can solve the problem, why the problem still exists until today, ladies and gentlemen? Why there is still patient in the hospital waiting for the organ to keep their life, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, moving forward to second clashes, which is the shortage of organ versus whether this motion will manipulate the society, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we have already told you that the shortage, how bad is the situation right now that we needed an organ in our country to solve the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Before 6, sir. To make all the patient recover, ladies and gentlemen. But we didn't hear anything from them. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you which proposal do provide you the legitimate substantive to deal with the problem that we have proposed, ladies and gentlemen. Government came forth tell you that the dire need is the short shortage, is the short supply of the organ to solve the problem right now. So, with the motion, by implementing this, granting the right to the suicide committed, we can get at least some contribution from them to solve the problem. At least they can donate their organ if they die, ladies and gentlemen. We're not granting their rights to commit suicide. But at the end of the day, even though there is the law enforcement by curbing the situation, we still see the suicide happening, ladies and gentlemen. Because of no matter what, people are still committing suicide. You can't solve the problem, ladies and gentlemen. But at least the government gets something from the people, ladies and gentlemen. So what have closing government told you, ladies and gentlemen? We provide you the clashes which is the choice of individual versus the sanctity of life. And Deborah have already came forth and tell you the balance of social contract and also the over-oppressed by the government in this society, that we needed the contribution of the people back to the government, ladies and gentlemen. By this, closing gov is proud to propose